Hello and welcome everybody to Tobi's Russian tasting adventures. Today we finally get to Russian beer. I've teased it in the last episode of Tobi's Russian tasting adventures. I teased it in my last update video, and now we're finally here. Finally beer time. Also two more new Kvass brands and two more sweets. But first of all, the beer, because I promised that. So, first of all, the story I wanted to tell. So, you may remember, if you read the comments on my last video, that a lot of people said, like, no, don't drink Russian beer. Our beer does not taste good. Even Russians don't like to drink Russian beer. And all that stuff. If you don't believe me, go in the comments below. Of the last video, of course. And I was like, I don't believe that, to be honest. I don't believe that. I was told by Japanese people, for example, that Japanese beer is not good. And it's true, there are some really bad Japanese beer. But there is also one or the other good brand, you know? So, I always give a chance to all the beers in the world. Actually, to everything in the world. But also to beer. And, so I went shopping for beer. So I went to a big Russian supermarket in the city near to me. It's the biggest city, and you know, it had Russian supermarkets I wasn't at yet. So I went there, I went to the beverage section, I looked for the beer, I found the beer, I stood in front of it, and suddenly I got a flashback. You know, a really, really, really bad flashback. Because I totally forgot that I already once drank a Russian beer. It was the year of 2014. December of 2014. No, I'm lying. It was the December of 2013. My bad. At that time, I was not living where I'm living right now, but I was living in Berlin. And you know, Berlin, big city, thousands and thousands of pubs. And one pub had the name The House of the 100 Beers. It basically was like a place where you could drink international beer for horrendous prices. And there I drank Baltica number 2. And in the moment I saw that bottle, I remembered. Oh, I remembered. Baltica number 2 was the worst beer I ever drank. And I'm not even exaggerating. That shit was disgusting. Like, disgusting. And as always, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I was standing in front of this shelf and I was like, no. But I was brave. I still bought some beer. And turns out both of the beers I bought here were not as bad as Baltica number 2. So that is the good news. The bad news is they both were not good. So let's first talk about what was his name again? Giguli. Right? Giguli. Yeah, Giguli or something like that. Sorry if I mispronounced that. As always, remember, you know, my Cyrillic skills are not really off the charts. So, I read in the internet that this was like, at times, the only beer you could get in the Soviet Union, at least according to Wikipedia. And there are like two different beers of Giguli I could find, both made in Russia, and one was green and one was blue. I don't know what the difference was. I can only say that the blue one I bought was really, really bad. Not as bad as Baltica number 2, because that it didn't even taste like a beer anymore. But this was also not good. Really, it was not good. It tasted like, I don't know, like a chemical disaster. You know what I mean? Like, everything didn't fit anything. You know what I mean? It's, I really didn't like this one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And the other one, Trechsossenskoye. Yeah, too long word, but you know what I mean. Trejsossenskoye. Sosjensko, you know. And this was a light beer, and I'm a big fan of light beers. My second favorite beer is actually Tegernsee. That's a Bavarian light beer. So, you know, I'm high on light beers, and therefore this beer already had it like kind of tough with me, you know. I'm a not that I'm like an expert on light beer, but I enjoy them very much. And yeah, that one was actually okay. I think you could drink that. It was not very good, but I first of all, I didn't realize that it was light beer, so I didn't read like the text on the back and then realized, oh, it's light beer. I actually tasted it and I thought, yeah, that's probably light beer, not a good one, but you know, at least I know what it is. Different than with Baltica 2 or, you know, and the flavor was not 100% what I expect from a light beer. Like it's not that the flavor was not intense enough, but it's not really like what I'm used to. Maybe it's just really that I'm not used to what it tasted like. But you know, on the other hand, I'm a big fan of Russian sweets, and they don't taste a bit like German sweets, and I still like both, you know. So I don't think this is an excuse if I say the beer tasted a little bit strange and not the way a light beer is supposed to taste, you know. But that being said, by far better than Baltica, and also much better than Giguli. So, a thumbs in the middle for the light beer, thumbs down for Giguli, and a billion thumbs down for Baltica number 2. God damn it. It's a real trauma, man. I didn't even know that beer could taste like Baltica 2 when I drank it. That shit was bad. Next up we had Kvass Chlebny. There's actually not too much to say about this one. Because when I opened it, first of all I thought, wow, great. It really smells intense, you know. It smelled like the one that tasted really intense, Borodino. No, wait, it was something like Borodino. Borodino? Nah, I'm not too sure. You remember the one I talked about last time? Oh god, I'm so unprofessional and so unprepared. But, you know, the one that I really liked last time. It smelled like that, but it tasted like the Jachont Kvass. And the Jachont Kvass, if you remember, tasted like a whole lot of nothing. And this also tasted like a whole lot of nothing, I gotta say. It was really just very neutral. Like you tasted that it is supposed to be kvass, but there was not a whole lot of kvass going on, if you know what I mean. So I didn't really like that one. Next up was a kvass by the same company. This one was called Kvass Temni. So the only difference is the first one was called Chlebny, which I was told in the first video means something like with bread taste or something like that. Or breadish or something along those lines. And this one is called Temni, as mentioned. Now I don't know where the difference is. I can tell you though that according to the translation, the German translation, of the ingredients list, in this one is rye malt extract, and in the other bottle there wasn't. So maybe this is like the one important thing for the taste difference. I don't know. All I can say is that this at least tasted very different. I can tell you as much. Not very different, but different. First of all, it didn't taste like nothing, so that was good. It had a basic, very basic, like kvass taste. Not as bad as Jachont or its sister or brother bottle, I don't know. But still very basic, not really intense like Borodinsky. It was Borodinsky, and I'm pretty sure now. Again, yeah, it was Borodinsky. So nothing really intense, but it had a bit of unique flavor, and maybe that's the rye malt extract, I don't know. but its taste was a bit unique, and not in a bad way, you know, not in a bad way. And I think like having rye malt in a kvass makes actually sense, since it's like a bread drink, you know. You make bread with rye, I guess it makes sense. And it tasted good. It tasted good. It wasn't like extraordinary. The taste was like not extraordinary cool, like Ochakovsky. And the taste wasn't as intense as like Borodinsky. But all in all, it was still delightful and enjoyable. Just not as good as the other two that I prefer. So, in the bottom are Jachont, Kvass, and the sister bottle, Kvass, Litsky, Chlebny. And on place 3 is now Kvass, Litsky, Temny. And still on place number 2 is Borodinsky. And in the pole position, yeah, actually I think you say in English position, not place. Oh well, in German you say place. That my bad. So still in the pole position, Ochakovsky Kvass. But this one was pretty good. I gotta say, this one was pretty good. So since I didn't have that much luck this time with the beverages, except for one, I'm happy to say that the sweets I bought are actually really, really good. I have actually a funny story for these. I had to take a test in a city where I have never been before. And, you know, I'm German. I was an hour too early there. Actually, I was an hour too early there because I wanted to have time in case I didn't find the building. But I found the building right away, so I had 1 hour too much time. And I thought, what shall I do now? And on the other side of the street, right across the street, was a Russian supermarket. It was like fate. So I went there and I bought 2 Kvass bottles. You remember these from a few seconds ago? And 2 different sorts of sweets. This one is called Nyamik Konfemi, I think at least. So, basically, I bought this because of the cow. The cow looked friendly. I realize now, often I think like, people are so stupid. Why would you buy this or that because on the outside there is a cow, or on the outside there is a young child and stuff like that. But if you actually do not speak the language, it is kind of helpful. Like, I take the one with the baby and with the cartoon cow, and I'm feeling like a little kid. I'm feeling like a little kid. So, the outside was some sort of caramel, and the inside was some kind of milk chocolate of this sweet. And I gotta say, I'm not the biggest caramel fan. I'm really not. But I think in this case, it matched the taste. The inside was very, very tasty. As mentioned, was some kind of milk chocolate or something like that. And it was white, and the taste, it was very, very sweet. Much sweeter than most of the Russian sweets I tasted so far. It was a little bit like, taste-wise, like typical German sweets, I would even say. But it was tasty, and the caramel in this case actually fit. Like, as mentioned, usually not the biggest fan of caramel, but a good match. And all in all, very, very tasty. I would buy it again anytime. And last but not least, we have a sweet of my favorite company in Russia. Probably. I don't know, I don't actually know that many sweets company in Russia. Anyway, from Rotfront, Solnishko Siemieczkami. I hope it's kind of pronounced correct. Yeah, so it was a little bit like, I don't know if you know that in Russia, but it tasted a bit like Ballisto. Ballisto is an American sweet. And yeah, it had like a cookie inside. Not really like a cookie, but you know, something cookie-like in the middle. And on the outside is chocolate. Now the chocolate, I love Rotfront chocolate. I'm not even lying. Rotfront is my absolutely favorite chocolate in the world. Like, their chocolate is just awesome, and I don't know how they do that, but they do that. The cookie was very, very crumbly. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of that, I gotta say. Like, when you bit inside, it was like already going, the parts of the cookie were already like going all over the place. It's not really like a cookie, but it's hard to describe. I don't even know. No, I wouldn't even have like a word for German in that, you know? It was like something hard, bread, cookie-like in the inside, you know what I mean? If you have ever eaten these, you probably know what I mean. I don't know if there's a word for Russian. If there is a word in Russian for that, I know there is none in German. So, and in English, of course, I don't know. You know me. English, pff, I'm stupid. Yeah, very, very crumbly in the inside. But the chocolate, again, great. Just great, great chocolate. Alright, so I give this one a thumbs up as well. But package. The package is shit. And it shouldn't be as crumbly as it is, I think personally. Like Ballisto, the American version, the chocolate is not as tasty, but it's not nearly as crumbly. And I prefer that. I don't like my sweets going all over the place when I bite into them. It's no problem if you put it right in your mouth. I mean, these Russian sweets are usually not too big to just put them in one bite in your mouth, but not everyone likes to do that, you know. So you should think a bit about your customers, especially with your packaging. Like, this made me really, really angry. Like, I hate having packages all over the place, in general. And now I've got for one sweet 2 packages, because I need to rip it apart. Like, come on, what even? Okay, I think that was it. So, all in all, sadly, this was probably the most negative Russian tasting adventures. But the beer was really, really not good. It is what it is. And the Kvass was not super mega ultra good. But you know, not every Kvass can be. Not every Kvass can be good as Ochakovsky. Yay! This is not a sponsored video. This is really not a sponsored video. Please don't get any stupid ideas. I don't make any money off of this. But I even need to say that. Like, who would sponsor me? I get like 50 views. And I appreciate these 50 views. I love you all. But, you know, it's probably not profitable for Ochakovsky if they would sponsor me. Anyway, so, not the best Kvass, bad beer, but great sweets at least. So, next time we have more beer. I have 2 more bottles of beer. Sadly, because I bought 4 at once. And I hate, you know, if you watch my stuff, you know I hate being negative. Especially like when it's like, I hate Russian beer. You know, it's not like I hate it because it's from Russia, but because it just doesn't taste good, you know. And so I have 2 bottles more. We'll get to them next time. And then next time we do kefir and I forgot the Russian name. Ayrak Kulis. You know, the one that is made like kefir only with horse milk, you know. So, next episode we'll do that. And maybe more kvass and sweets, we'll see. It was very interesting, like in the one city where I've never been before, there were like 10 sorts of kvass I've never seen before. It was really strange. It was really strange, but cool, you know. If I get there again, I'll buy some more kvass there. Definitely. So, be prepared for kefir and kumis. It was kumis, wasn't it? Or kulis? I'm not too sure anymore. Ayrak, what the Mongolians call Ayrak. Or Erik, depending from where they are. So, thank you everybody for watching. Come back for the next episode. And I'll see you then. And I hope I can say more positive stuff. I'm really, really sorry. Bye-bye.